Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, we want to thank all of our fans, our sponsors, our patrons. We appreciate all of your guys' support. Everyone that's bought us a cup of coffee, been greatly appreciated. We've had a rough couple of weeks here in the family, been out of work for a week and a half, coming up on 2 weeks thanks to our old friend COVID running through us. I don't want to take up a whole lot of time with the usual spiel, so all of you guys that are interested in what's going on with Sin City Living and what we plan on doing in the future with our live streams and upcoming events, please stick around to the end of the video or skip to the end of the video and watch. I will put most of that stuff in the ending spiel, and I will try and update it every week or two with more news. Otherwise, that being said, we're just going to go ahead and jump straight into today's video. So for today's video, I just want to talk about a roll that I saw just last night. It was pretty crazy roll. It was about 30 rolls of the dice, and time-wise, normally that would be about a 25 to 45 minute or 25 to 35 minute roll. In this case, it was approximately 20 minutes or so, just because of the types of bets that were on the table. So I don't have the roll in order, nor do I have every single number. There were only 4 numbers that stuck out of my head that I actually tracked how many times they hit. And I'm going to do a couple of things. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how a couple different strategies would have worked with these numbers. And then secondly, I want to show you how the table looked, how the bets were set up by the end of the roll. It's pretty disappointing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the 4 numbers that I know exactly how many times they rolled, and we're going to do those with a couple of different strategies. Now, the first thing is one of the players had a bunch of improper bets, and let me see if I can remember, and it was set up basically this way, although he actually did not have, nobody had a 10 bet. So he had a bunch of improper bets, and they were set up this way. Now, this was a $10 minimum bet table. Now, the maximum bet for the table was $2,000. Okay, so 2,000, 2,000, 24, 24. All right. So we're going to look at this, and I'm going to go over these numbers as if, whoops. I'm just going to go over these numbers just as they, the number of times they rolled, and show you what could have happened with them. All right, so this is what the player started out with. Greens. He did have improper bets. All right, so he started out with greens, and actually, let me slide these over. A couple other people had 1 or 2 minor bets, but again, I want to show you what could have happened with this roll. Then I want to show you how it actually went down. Now, I'm going to show this to you in a power press, a mid press, a power press, and a mid press, just to show you. Okay. So, and I'm going to go down the line. So, one of the numbers, 5. Now, the 5 rolled a total of 6 times. He rolled quite a few 5s. So let's take a look at this. So if we're starting out with a power press, then of course they're going to add. Now, I'm going to do a power press. I'm going to do a standard power press. So in some cases, there will be more money thrown in. Right? So power press, they're going to stack everything up. So quarter is going to go up to 60. Now, 60 is going to pay 84. This is a case where the second time it rolls, they're going to throw in another $6, and they're going to go up to 150. Now, the third time it rolls, this is where they start to collect a little bit. They only collect $10, right? And since they already threw in $6 more, we're just going to say they collected 4 right there. Okay? So let's see, they went up to 60, then they went up to 150. Now they're going up to 350 after the third hit. So the fourth hit is going to pay $490, right? $490. Now, this is a spot typically where the power presser is actually going to slow their power press down and just go up to 500. Okay. So that was the fourth hit. On the fifth hit, they're going to go up to 1,000, and they're going to collect their $200. And on hit number 6, they're going to go up to 2,000, and they're going to collect their $400. Okay. Notice when you're starting out with a green, you're already starting a beat ahead. You're basically starting one roll ahead of the lower level players. So, starting out with a power press, this player would have made $944. Now, what about a mid-press method? Okay, well, the first hit, go to 35. Okay. The second hit, going to go to 50. Third hit will go to 75. Hit number 4, it's probably going to go to 1 1/4. Hit number 5, this is the point where they're typically going to go all the way up. Hit number 5. So then hit number 6. Take it up to 500. There we go. So a mid-press player starting out with a green would have collected up $379. Now, if it were somebody starting out at $10, they're going to be a beat behind. They're not going to make it up to table max. Right? This player initially will go to a quarter, which is where this player started at. So their very first roll, they go up to a quarter, and then from there, they start pressing themselves up. So they would have made it up to the $1,000 mark. So if you take 400 out, because that's what they would have collected, that's what this player collected in the additional hit, that's how this player would have finished. So a player starting out at $10 would have actually finished with $544. Not too shabby. Now, the mid-press player is actually starting 2 beats behind the player that started out with a quarter, because they're not throwing in additional money. This player threw in $1 to go to a quarter right away. So this player goes from 10 to 15, then to 25. So they're actually 2 beats behind this player. So they're going to make significantly less, but they're still going to make money. They're still going to make money. Now, the 8 was a crazy one also, where it rolled 6 times. Okay. Now, similar to the 5, power presser is going to get up, but the power presser is not going to make it to table max. So they're going to collect a few blacks here and there at the spots where they don't quite power press, but actually go to a simpler number that makes a little bit more sense. This player is going to collect a little bit more just because they are in their mid-press. They collect some and don't collect in others. So the first roll, this player goes to 54. Second roll, this player is, as a power presser, likely going to go to something that's kind of going to make a little bit of sense and actually collect up a little bit. So they're going to go to 90. Okay. Now the third roll, take it up to 180. Now the fourth roll, $360. So that's 4 rolls. 4 rolls, they're up to $360. $360 pays $420. All right, so on roll number 5, this is where they're going to back it down, and they're just going to go to something that makes sense. Likely $600. So roll number 5, they're going to go to $600. And then roll number 6, they go to $1,200.
So, $352. Would have made $352. Now, the mid-press player starting out at an improper bet to begin with, a mid-press player in this instance getting paid their $29. Now, chances are, if you're a mid-press player, you're not starting out at an improper bet. I do know power pressers will start out with a green on the 6 or 8 because you can immediately go all the way up to 54, which is a bet that makes some sense. So in this case, they'll go up to 42. That's hit number 1. Hit number 2, they go to 60. Hit number 3, go to 90. Hit number 4, go to 150. Hit number 5, go to 300. And then hit number 6, go up to 600. So a mid-press player starting out with that improper bet would still end up with over $200 just off of that one number. Now, this player is starting out a beat behind this power presser. But with the proper bet, they're going to go straight from 12 to 30, and then it's going to change things a little bit, but they're still likely going to end up at the same spot of 1,200, or they're going to end up at 600, possibly 900. Definitely no higher. Between 900 to 1,200. They're not going to make as much, but they're still going to make a little bit. Now, this mid-press player is starting out roughly 2 beats behind this player. So they're still going to make a little bit of money. I'm going to skip the 9 for a second. So that's where things got really crazy. Now, the 10, I'm not going to play this 10 out because there weren't that many 10s that rolled. But what was crazy about it was that we had 3 hard 10s back to back to back. That's why the 10 sticks out of my head. There were 3 hard 10s back to back to back. There were a total of 4 10s rolled. Total of 4 10s rolled, which means that nobody was even going to hit table max. You know, the closest might be this player up to 75, then they're probably going to 200, then they're probably going to 500, then they're going to 1,000. So they would have been at $1,000. Where it got crazy is the 9. The 9 rolled a whopping 10 times. 10 times. Let's look at how 10 hits of the 9 would play out, both with the bets that the player had and with the lower end bets, because the player did start out with a green on the 9. So, again, we're in the power press. 60, right? Throw in another $6 to go to 150. That's hit number 2. Hit number 3. Go to 350. Made $4 profit. Hit number 4. It's going to pay $4.90. We'll pay $5.90 for 100. Go up to 1,000. Hit number 5. Or I'm sorry, go up to 500. Hit number 5. Go up to 1,000. Collect the 200. Hit number 6. Collect your 400. Go up to 2,000. Hit number 7. Collect your 2,800 because you are at table max after 6 hits. So hit number 7. Collect your 2,800. Hit number 8. Collect your 2,800. Hit number 9. Collect your 2,800. And hit number 10. Collect your 2,800. Starting out where this player started out, a power presser would have finished with $12,119. $12,119. What about a mid presser? Okay, well, mid presser, hit number 1, go to 35. Hit number 2, go to 50. Number 3, go to 75. Number 4, go to 150. Number 5, go to 350. Yeah. Or possibly 250. In fact, likely 250 on hit number 5. Likely going to go to 250. Hit number 6 is where they're going to go to 350. Hit number 7, go to 500. Now, this is where it gets interesting. For hit number 8, now some mid-pressers at this point, they're up so much, they're just going to power press. But others, not so much. So we'll say this player on hit number 8 goes to 750, okay? Hit number 9, now they'll go to 1,000. And then hit number 10. Now at this point, they're likely to go to 2,000, because when you're one hit away from table max, you're probably just going to go there. So even somebody starting out with a mid press is going to make $2,524. $2,524. This player is going to, as a mid-presser starting out at $10, is going to make less, but is still likely going to clear over $1,000. The power presser starting at the table minimum is going to hit table maximum on the 7th roll, which means that while they're not going to collect $12,000, they are going to collect about $8,000, starting with a $10 bet. Okay? That is the reason why people do the power press. They're hoping for one number that beats the statistical likelihood. This one blew it out of the water. Really, if you're a power presser, you're just hoping one number rolls 7 or 8 times. You're definitely blown away when a number rolls 10 times. 10 times and you're just making insane money. Now, I promised you guys that I would show you how the table looked at the end of this roll. So, I'm going to start out with this side of the table and how their bets looked at the end of the roll. How did their bets look at the end of the roll? So, let me go ahead and clean this up. And there you go. That is how their bets looked at the end of the roll. Not a single person on this side of the table had any place bets. Not a one. Once the players, after this roll ended and a few other rolls happened, once players started coloring up, nobody on this side of the table bothered to color up, because even though they just caught a monster roll, the kind of roll that people that play dice a lot are actually hoping to catch and trying to catch, they actually didn't make anything. So they ended up losing all their money because they didn't make anything. They didn't make anything, so they had no exit strategy, no exit point, no winning condition of theirs. They were just on the dice table just to be on the dice table, just killing time and wasting money. Now, this side of the table. Told you this player started out with something like this. I actually don't think he had a 5. I think he had 6, 8, 9. How did he finish? At the end of his roll, that's where he was at. On the 5th 9 that rolled at $25, the other players on his side were basically begging him to press, so he finally pressed at 25. And then he pressed at 25, the next hit after that, next hit after that, and then stopped pressing it and left it at $100. It was just sad. I just showed you how even a mid-press player would make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on a roll like this, and whereas a power presser would have made over $12,000. The biggest winner on this table was about $600 after this 30-minute roll. So it was absolutely insane and almost painful to watch. I hope you guys find this interesting, enlightening, illuminating, just plain fun. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now.
Okay, everybody, and as promised, all the usual blah blah that I try and do at the beginning of the video, we're going to go ahead and put near the end of the video. And here we go. So thank you, everybody, for your usual patronage. All of you that are patrons of ours, we very, very much appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who's been buying us a cup of coffee. Love to say that it's going to coffee right now, but this month with the entire family out for COVID, it's honestly going to Bill's and probably the kid's birthday in a week. But we definitely appreciate it. We're going to continue working on these live streams. I know you guys have seen some of them popping up. Just got to figure out the look of it, and some of the audio is still giving me issues. But hopefully we'll be getting those live streams and the craps tournaments going as soon as possible. Really just going to depend on scheduling. My schedule changed, Amy's schedule changed, kids' school schedule is fun. So once we figure out exactly how all those schedules are going to work, we'll let everybody know. And otherwise, please continue emailing us with anything you would like to see videoed. And again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you guys. We'll catch you next time.